Hola, hola, bienvenidos al Truck Boss Show. Here's what we have for you today. KellyLynn, Driver Ambassador of Women in Trucking, George Arrants on tech shortage. James, take it away. 2020 was the start of a pretty big challenge as we face a pandemic. But as we all know, our truck drivers never stopped. I got to visit with KellyLynn, a Driver Ambassador of Women in Trucking, who gave me the 411 of being on the road during a pandemic. Check it out. How's it going, everyone? Isela here with the Truck Boss Show. And well, today we have the first female Driver Ambassador of Women in Trucking, Ms. KellyLynn. Kelly, welcome to the Truck Boss Show.
Hi, Isela. It's good to be here.
We're still dealing with a pandemic. How has that been for you?
It was very uncertain for drivers, and I felt like I was in a war zone. But it was in a war zone that the bullets, or whatever you want to call it, didn't know where to dodge to. It was really weird driving around the highways and nobody was on there. I felt like, Martians had sucked all the people up. It was very odd, but I was able to drive more efficiently and get to my customers quickly, and I was happy to have a job at that point. And I wanted to work as much as I can because I was one of the few people in my family that had a job. As we went along, there were safety protocols that were put in place, and I found that I was able to stay safe on the road. Company that I drive for, Schneider, where I pull most of my loads, they provided a lot of sanitizers and masks and things to help us stay safe out on the road. Truck stops scaled up. But now what I'm seeing is that people are becoming complacent. I would go into a truck stop and I would be one of maybe one or two people that were wearing a mask and wearing it properly. And I recently got COVID, not as while I was out doing my job, but I had a family member that got it and I was caring for them and got it. And it was a big deal for me. I mean, I was critically ill, it just makes me so frustrated to see people out on the road in my workspace, which is truck stops and rest areas and customers, and they're just not taking precautions to protect us or themselves. We're not done with this, and the country needs us, and they need us to move freight. And I put out a piece recently encouraging people to continue to be vigilant until they get vaccinated and we can get this under control. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Thank God you're still here today and you're still pushing forward. And so big thanks to you and all the other drivers that are out there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Guys, this isn't it with the women in trucking. Of course, we're going to be visiting with them soon because they have a lot of big things that they got going on this year, and we're super excited. And we're going to be having them more on the show. Kudos to all our drivers out there that kept going and continue to do so today. A big thanks to KellyLynn. Now we go to Carlin. What do you have on your end?
Well, Isela, we know trucks are impressive machines, but these incredible pieces of equipment need maintenance, which requires knowledgeable and well-trained technicians. But right now, the diesel tech industry is facing a shortage, though that's not exactly the best way to describe it. We'll have the technician expert, George Arrants, explain.
What's up, bosses? On this segment of the Truck Boss Show, we are sitting down with our diesel technician expert, George Arrants. George, thanks for joining us. And let's just get straight into it. Give us the lowdown on this so-called tech shortage.
The first thing I've said to everybody is, if you're an employer and you're hiring, do you have a shortage of applicants or do you have a shortage of qualified applicants? We've surveyed a lot of employers and nearly 90% say qualified applicants. That means we're not lacking the interest of young people or veterans into our industry. The problem is whatever industry is expecting in an entry-level employee, they're not getting. Or that individual doesn't have the employability skills or soft skills, as we sometimes relate it to get past the interview in order to show their technical skills. So some of the things that we're working on is doing a better job of industry and education communicating and managing expectations of what do we truly expect in an entry-level employee. Clearly, there's still an interest. And between the three transportation courses, auto, collision, and truck, over 159,000 students taking some class, some form of another in the U.S. We just have to fill the leaks so that more of these students that start in these programs graduate and into the workforce. The other thing that we found at ASE through a survey we did a couple of years ago is we lose 42% in the first 2 years. And I call that eating our young. We put these individuals into the workplace and we ask them to be productive first day on the job. We don't mentor them into your company or shop culture. Or even worse, your shop culture is caustic enough that it's not ready to take on an entry level or an individual of that nature. Without mentoring, the sophistication of today's trucks and vehicles are not like when I started in the industry. They were much simpler. We have to be able to onboard these individuals into our company culture, our shop culture, and grow them into our workplace. We need to stop looking at them as an expense and as an investment.
What advice do you have for workplaces to stop eating their young?
I refer to us as gray hairs or no hairs. We live to work. You guys work to live. And maybe you guys got it right. It's that balance between family and work, and employers understanding that balance that's important to your generation. And most major fleets know what it costs to hire a technician. It may be better to invest money that you have in keeping the people that you already have. They already wanted to come to work for you. We've been telling employers for 40 years that we're leaving for 25 cents more an hour. And we've always said that since the 70s. And people still believe that's why it is. But most people do not leave necessarily for money.
Right.
They leave because the work environment, and it's festered inside of them long enough that, here's my quote, the unknown is better than staying with you. Think about that. And some employers get that, and the ones that don't, they're eating our young.
What advice do you have for those who may be struggling in their first job or in a toxic workplace?
You have to research the company that you are going to work for. And now through social media, you can learn so many things without stepping through the door or making face-to-face contact. Managing expectations with your employers. People are okay if you make a mistake as long as you are straight up about that. We all make mistakes. Also, listen to what the folks around you have to say. That's why we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen, don't wait to talk. We need to let things unfold and kind of give the company time to grow on you and you on them.
All right, guys, well, that does it for this segment of the Truck Boss Show. We'll catch you on the next one. Well, if you guys want to learn more from George, go check out our Bosscast. We have an in-depth interview with him. He goes into, even more detail about that tech shortage and what the, industry, the organization that he works for is really doing to kind of help address that.
That's pretty cool. You got to check out the Bosscast, though.
Yeah, that's right. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there.
That's right.
We got you.
And well, it's very easy if they want to check us out on our broadcast, though. Our Bosscast. Did I say podcast? Bosscast.
I think so.
Anyways, just remember, guys, you got to subscribe. And you can find us. Actually, the Bosscast is on Apple, on Spotify, and Google Play.
That's right. That's right. So again, anywhere you can find and listen to podcasts, we're there. And next week, we actually have Brad doing a little bit more of his investigative research here. And he's actually going to be talking to us a little bit more about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, kind of what's happening there and what you guys need to know so that way you're prepared.
Yeah. You always got to be prepared.
Always.
And of course, we're also going to have a good friend of ours, Ricky Rigfall, who is a driver, but also shares his interest in eating healthy with other drivers and feels that is actually going to work for him in the long run because he wants to stay healthy and live a little bit longer.
There you go. There you go. And it's important to stay healthy because you do have to pass a physical as a driver. So
Very important.
You're already ahead of the game if you're eating healthy. And of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because at the end of the day, we cannot keep bringing you this awesome Truck Boss Show, our Bosscast, all the other things that we do without your guys' support. And Isela, why do we do this?
Because you're the boss.